I've done it again. What's up guys, it's Captain Productions 72 back with another episode of collecting every LEGO Indiana Jones minifigure. I went from doing these once, I did one in February, did one in March, and then I didn't do them for like months. And then through the start of July, July through to August, I've been really consistent with these. I had quite a few out, and at least it feels like it anyway. I know I've done 3 episodes recently. But yeah, I did 3 episodes recently, which is quite good. I believe I did the episode on the new figures I already had, then the ones from Temple of the Golden Idol, and then I did the ones on the minifigures I got in the Shanghai chase. So we'll be very consistent with these. This might be the last episode for a while, like a month or so, but my plan is to try and wrap this up by the end of the year because I've really enjoyed this concept of a series, and I'd like to do it again, maybe with a sub-theme of Star Wars, like maybe every astromech droid or something. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, you may notice a little difference with the stand. Allow me to show you. So it does look a bit more spaced out. Now, there's a reason it looks this way. They've not added a whole bunch of new minifigures. I would have made a set leak video. But the way it works is, right, say we've got this top row. So we've got these are original minifigures. See, there's this gap row. Now, the reason I put the gap rows in is to make it look a bit neater. Because say, let's take Irina Sparkle. Say she was to roll back like she was before. It doesn't matter how you put her on this. It ends up blocking the minifigure behind. Either way, it just doesn't look good. So there's a little gap row in between all of them, just so there's a bit of space and you can see the entirety of each figure. So it will look really neat spaced. Like a good example is right here. That was a lot neater than having these figures go back like that, which doesn't really look all that great. But yeah, just let you guys observe the stand, what we've got here. Again, as you may know, just a recap, we've added every single modern minifigure from Indiana Jones is on this stand, which is great. So that's like one whole section completed, because I had 2 goals. It was to get all the old ones and all the new ones, obviously, and we've completed one of those, which is pretty cool. Let's jump into the 6, I repeat 6 minifigures, and we've got a couple gems here. Let's jump right in. So if you're wondering in which order I'm showing off these minifigures is by what place to go in the stand. So for starting up, working down, so if there's one at the top, we'll do them first, if that makes more sense. So our first minifigure, and this completes, we now have all versions of this character, is Satipo. So this is his 2008 version from the original lineup. No back head printing, no back printing, not literally back of the plane. Yeah, the back of the minifigure is plain. Standard torso. And I will show him next to his 2023 counterpart. You can see that the lot has changed. The legs are exactly the same, but nothing else is. It's kind of crazy that they're still using the same legs after all these years. The 2008 one is pretty cool. It's the original one, so it's another minifigure from that original, Temple Escape set. Let's add him up here. So if we adjust the camera, he goes up here next to the Akator skeleton, and next to that is Mutt Williams. So that's another one on that row completed. Our next minifigure is a really cool one. He is the most expensive minifigure from LEGO Indiana Jones. Drumroll, we finally are adding Mola Ram. So Mola Ram needs no introduction. He is the most expensive minifigure from LEGO Indiana Jones. I think I paid about 40 for this minifigure. Really cool minifigure, really nice details. Very rare minifigure. A lot of the ones that I found while trying to find him on eBay had cracks, had dents. This one is in new condition. In fact, when I bought this, the little horns, the headpiece, was still sealed in its factory because it came in a separate piece of plastic. It was still sealed in that, which I thought was pretty cool, but really happy to finally have Mola Ram in the collection. I've been trying to work on that Temple of Doom since it has the least amount of minifigures, try and get that one done first, but damn is this pretty cool. So he goes right down here, and that's another row started. Next from that same row, and another pretty cool minifigure from the Temple of Doom. I have another one after this from the Temple of Doom, is we have Willie Scott in her sacrificial outfit, which I believe does have two faces. It has the kind of frightened face, and if we turn it round, it kind of has a happy expression. I mean, in 2009 we did have double-sided heads. Looks really cool. Got a kind of reflective print on the torso, which is interesting. You know, it does have the back printing, which also has the kind of reflectiveness. Really cool minifigure. Definitely one of my all-time favourites from Lego Indiana Jones. Just not many Lego figures outside of construction workers and cops have a reflective print, so it is pretty cool. She goes right next to Mola Ram, which is pretty good because I had to memorise where all these were sticking on. I'm not using a list or anything. Our final minifigure, based off the Temple of Doom, we have Indiana Jones himself, which is kind of cool because we're adding a special variant of him, which I like doing. He's got the whip. He has the one arm that is not got a sleeve. He has his pistol, his hat, obviously no double-sided head with the hat. He's got the satchel, standard indie legs. Really cool looking minifigure. This is kind of based off, he doesn't have the sword, but it is based off the scene where he cuts the bridge at the end of Temple of Doom, so real cool. He came in the same set as Mola Ram and Willie Scott, so he goes right next to Willie Scott, and it's kind of nice we got them as a trio right there. So that's all good. Our next minifigure, and we are adding one from 2009. I should point out, Satipo is from, or Satipo, however you want to pronounce it, is from 2008. These three here that we've added are from 2009, and as are the other two. The minifigure in question that we are adding right now is a really cool one, and it's the Cairo Swordsman. So he's from that scene where Indy is running through the streets of Cairo, and this guy comes out, and he's showing off all his moves with the sword, and he just shoots him. So that's pretty cool. Apparently, the actors that day had food poisoning on set, so they just let Harrison Ford shoot him and said it was meant to be an elaborate kind of duel type scene. But he has the big kind of sword. Really nice printing. Again, for 2009, a lot of these minifigures still look really great. He goes at the end of this row here, so we more or less have started, and in this video alone, we have started an extra row of minifigures. We're only 4 away from that being complete, so yeah. And our final minifigure is from The Last Crusade, which is not something I have a lot of either, so finally getting another Last Crusade minifigure is great. We have a Grail Guardsman. So there's 2 minifigures like this. The difference is the heads. One has a different type of beard. The other one is the named one called Chasm. This one is just called Grail Guardsman, which I won't get to focus there. Try to get to focus on the minifigure, which is cool. As the Fez kind of piece. It's a really nice suit printing. I'd imagine today they would continue the printing down onto the legs, but I like, it's kind of gangster like gun, which is pretty cool. Really nice minifigure overall. I really enjoy this one. He goes next to the Cemetery Warrior from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Let's jump into our outro. So you guys can see it for yourselves. It's getting more and more complete. The last month or so of just adding minifigures constantly has been good, but we need to talk about this. When's the next episode? Because I feel like we should bring that up. Well, these are not cheap, so, although to be fair, we have got the most expensive one already out that we don't need to worry about having to do that one now. So, I mean, that in itself is really good. The final one, Mola Ram is an expensive minifigure, but he's not that bad. 40 to 50, I paid 40 for a new condition one. And, it's pretty good. Because I've easily seen him go for 60. And considering most Lego films, like you look at Star Wars, the most expensive minifigure there is thousands. This is less than 50. In this case, if you buy it from the right person. And you get a good deal. It is really cool. So, when will the next episode be? Well, it could potentially be this month. I know I said there might be a gap. It all just depends if I try to buy the minifigures in bulk. I won't order one figure from one seller. And in a few cases, minifigures have come from sets like in the Shanghai Chase or indeed the modern ones down the bottom. It really just depends where I choose to source the minifigures from. But yeah, I try to buy them in bulk, and one seller I'm just trying to find it. So what minifigures do we still need? We still need like 2 or 3 from the Temple of Doom. I think, no, the only Temple of Doom minifigures that we're really missing at this point are the 2 guards. It's the Temple Guards. That's the only guys we're missing from Temple of Doom. As for the other 3 main movies, we are missing a few, but it's mostly like German guards, Russian guards, kind of minifigures like that, and a couple indie variations. I know we're needing a Marion as well, so we are going to get all that done. My goal is to finish this series by Christmas or New Year, kind of January, and it looks like we're well on our way. Out of the 58 minifigures we have 34, so I'm just doing the math in my head. I think what we're going to need is another 24 minifigures. Yeah, so we're just needing another 24 minifigures to go until we finish this, so we're over halfway there. Again, just look at that, it is filling in pretty nicely, but before this episode gets any more out of hand, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.